Well, on Masters of Spin this morning, how do you get yourself out of a delicate situation like cars queued for kilometres and people lining up for 6 hours or more just to get a COVID test?
Well, if you're the New South Wales Premier Dominic Perrottet, you order a public information campaign because that has to be what the problem is, right? People simply not understanding what the rules are. So this week, under the front page headline of Sign of the Times, a plan was announced for billboards, overhead electronic signs and mobile phone alerts telling people to stay away from swamped testing clinics.
Let's now bring in Masters of Spin for this morning, advertising and marketing experts Madigan and Matthew Bywater. Morning to you. Seriously, do we believe that the Premier thought this was actually the real problem?
People really want to be spending 5 hours in a line if they didn't have to. If there was rapid antigen tests and people could get hold of them, they wouldn't be in there. People are in those lines because they do think they have COVID or they've got a close contact. There's no other reason for them to be there. So for the government to think that an information campaign is going to solve this, what's going to solve this is free rapid antigen tests.
Yeah. Look, public communication campaigns can be fraught at the best of times, Matthew. We know that it takes for a lot more than just sending a message or putting a sign up that is going to change people's behaviour. What should have been done here?
Yeah, well, I mean, remember, life science is always very difficult because these are confusing matters, but the message need to be clearer and much earlier. And one of the issues we've had in New South Wales is that they've not actually been there and delineated all the problems that they've had as far as how to go about the testing, when to test, when not to test, hence the reason why it's been so confusing for everyone. At least this now gives us some clear steps, like unless you've got symptoms, unless you actually definitely know that you passed, say, a rat test, then go get tested.
For the New South Wales Premier, I know this is a difficult question for you because you often give advice to the opposition, but what needs to happen here? People are not feeling safe.
No, what needs to happen is Dominic Perrottet needs to insist that the federal government gives him, or he needs to secure, like Queensland has done, a significant amount of rapid antigen tests that people can get hold of. And then, like, they're pretty accurate. You know, if you've got it pretty early on, and then you can do the right thing and isolate. I mean, it's actually not that complicated. And we've known this was going to happen for a while, that there would be peaks and things like that. The fact that we're even in this position nearly 2 years later is just extraordinary.
Yeah.
To another topic now, an actor, Matt Damon, is pretty well known as a clean skin who doesn't really court controversy or get himself into trouble. But many people are asking how on earth he ended up making this ad for a cryptocurrency company. Take a look.
History is filled with almosts, with those who almost adventured, who almost achieved, but ultimately, for them it proved to be too much. Then there are others, the ones who embrace the moment and commit.
Matt, it's going off on social media. A lot of people asking how Matt Damon could have been so tone deaf to the content of this ad. What do you think?
I agree. I'm a big fan of Matt Damon's, but I'm guessing just got truckloads of cash to do it because there's something wrong about this whole ad and this company where, I mean, man up and brave, you're trying to pitch almost as like a gambling type of ad. It's bizarre that he would take on such an ad.
He's selling cryptocurrency which doesn't have a solid reputation and, perhaps mightn't have needed the cash, but was that the motivation here?
No, I think what happens is the ad agency goes to the client and goes, "You guys are just like these brave explorers." And the client goes, "Yeah, we are." And it's all these people who drank the Kool-Aid and no one says, "Guys, no."
It was like you were in that meeting. All right, Matthew, thank you both.
Pleasure.